Morning, welcome back to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thank you for joining us on what is already a brilliant day. A little bit later on, we've got our magnificent cartload show, a 3-hour extravaganza from 5 o'clock this evening, midday Eastern. Sarah and me celebrating our birthdays. We've got a big show coming up as far as that is concerned. Right now, though, slightly condensed, slightly shorter, a 1-hour craft along, which, well, I know it's going to be a lot of fun. It is going to be amazing. Not only is the project going to be amazing, but the guests who we have on the show, I know already are going to be amazing. I had a brief chat with them before the show. You are going to absolutely not want to miss the next hour. It's going to be awesome. Let's get on over to Craig, because we are concentrating on these amazing stamp and dies, which you can pick up in the show. I'll give you all the details in just a second. But Craig, you've got a fantastic project, and I kind of hope we can get this done in an hour. Are we going to be able to get it done?
Can I just say, you said that we're concentrating on the word cut and dies. I am doing anything but concentrating, because I can see at the corner of my screen here, as Ben just said there a moment ago, cuteness overload. We'll tell you more just in a wee moment. But yes, this is what we are going to be making. Yes, we will manage to make this within the 1 hour, so don't worry and don't panic. But what we are going to be doing is, well, I thought with the King's coronation coming along, you know, within, well, next weekend, I thought, let's do that. Let's theme it with the red, white and blue. Now, of course, you might want to change the colour. You might then, of course, want to use this for another occasion. But if you do want to make exactly what I'm going to be making, then you're going to need a selection of certain products. Well, to get a hold of those products, you can either go across to our social pages, or you can have a look right here. So to make the project, what you're going to need is, to celebrate your success, word cut in stamp and die set, you're going to need your star nest and die. So this came from Crafters Inspiration 4. Water reactive Chinese red, alcohol proof ink pad noir black. Now the paper library, now obviously that's big. All that I've just used is one sheet of the starry background that you can see. So that's from the paper library. Centura Pearl, Christmas red, and multi-purpose white cardstock. So that's what you're going to need. Plus, you're going to need your Gemini Junior or MIDI. I'm going to use the MIDI today. Your 4x4 stamping platform, your stamping mat, blending tool, pokey tool, tacky glue, and 3D foam pads. That's what you're going to need. And actually what's not there, and you will need as well, is a scoreboard of some form. Any scoreboard, but we will, well, I was away to say we'll endeavour to do this project within the hour. Don't worry, we will do. I know there's a lot to it. Mats and layers, of course, but we will get this card done within this show.
Yeah, and if you want to pick up the set of word cut in stamp and die sets, we've got the full collection for you available on the show. So you can grab this today, and then of course you've got this craft along to come back to a little bit later on. I'll go through everything that you need as far as that is concerned in just a few moments' time. But we need to do a few hellos. And can I just say, one of the reasons I'm not crafting along, because I was going to, is because I think we're going to have a lot to get through over the course of
We've got someone better
next hour. Well, we've got two crafters today. The one lady who I kind of knew was going to be crafting along with us, and then we sort of had a mini conversation saying that there was a little crafter who wanted to join in. And so we've got main guest plus little crafter over in Sussex. Their names are Hannah and Kiri. Good afternoon. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm really great, thank you. And it was lovely to chat to you before the show. And you've got your little helper just to the side there. What's your name, little helper?
Kiri.
Yeah, and how old are you, Kiri?
3
3 and a half? Or 21?
14.
You're not 14 months.
14 months?
She was 15 earlier, she's 3.5.
3 and a half. And is she going to be helping you today, Hannah, or is she going to be doing her own project? What's going on?
We're going to let her do her own card.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Kiri, are you going to be doing your own card? Are you going to make it up as you go along, or are you going to be following Craig?
No, she's going to do Craig's card.
Right, so you're doing a card, Hannah, and Kiri, you're going to do a card as well.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolute disaster.
What machine are you using then, Kiri? What are you?
That is my little winder.
You're going to show them?
You got a little winder, yeah?
Oh, wow.
Oh, hold it up a little bit. Pick it up.
Hold it up. Can you hold it up?
So you've got a mini. Okay.
I've got a midi.
Yep. And you
And that's my little one.
excellent. That's your little one. And do you enjoy crafting, Kiri? Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you enjoy helping?
She had me cutting in the cut out dies, the swan, at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Brilliant.
Brill.
Excellent stuff.
She came downstairs and saw the mini and went, oh, Kiri winder. And then that was it.
Ah, there we are. I see.
He's like, it's my size, it must be mine.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, are you guys ready to go?
Yep,
Yeah.
we are good to go.
All right,
You
Kiri.
then.
Are you ready, Kiri?
Yeah.
Excellent news. All right, well, we'll come back to you very soon. See how you get on. Good luck, Hannah. Good luck. How
Kiri
cute
Winder.
is
I
Kiri?
love that.
Huh?
Kiri Winder.
Kiri
It's going
Winder.
to be the new name for it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Cuteness overload, right?
Oh, boy, and some.
Let's get started and get going, because I've got a feeling this is going to be a jam-packed 52 minutes. Where do we need to start, Mr. Craig?
Rightio. So, what I had originally done and said was a card blank, but let's just show you how you're going to be making your own one for this, because the card is actually 8 inches by 6. Now, here in the UK, it's easy to get 8 by 8 card blanks that we can chop down. Not always as easy stateside. So let's bring in our white multi-purpose card. So I've got 2 sheets, Ben.
Yeah.
And for one of them, what we're going to do is we are going to cut 8 inches
Yes.
by 6 inches. And then that's 8 inches, so 8 inches by 6 inches. Then in the next one, what we're going to do is we're also going to cut that to 6 inches, but what we're going to do is we are going to cut that, well, we're going to keep that at the 8 1/4 that we've got here. So one of them is 8 by 6, and then the other one is 8 1/4 by 6.
Yeah.
So that's the 2 of them. Now, of course, you can either use your guillotine, or you can then come in with your scoreboard. So this is what I meant by our scoreboard. What we're then going to do is we're going to take the one that is 8 1/4.
Yay! Just showing you how easy it is to use the handle on
Exactly.
the machine. You can blow it. You don't even have to
You
turn
can blow
it.
it, that's it. You don't just need to turn it, you can blow the handle and it's going to go.
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Sorry, Craig.
Don't you apologise, this is going to be an absolute... I'm sad it's not actually a 2-hour craft along, to be honest with you. I could just stand here and just watch Kiri there. Brilliant. So yeah, we're going to take our cardstock. So this is the one that's 8 1/4. So let's go into our scoreboard, and then I'm going to score at that quarter. So if I score that, and then what I can then do is fold that one over on itself. So I now have 2 pieces that are 8 inches by 6 inches. So let's move that out the way. So let's just recap that one. So one of them is 8 inches by 6 inches.
Yep.
The other one is 8 1/4 by 6 inches. And then I've scored at 1/4 of an inch at the top there and folded that one over. So that's then going to create my hinge, so to speak. Now we're going to work on this to start with. So before we assemble it onto what will be the back layer of my card blank, let's start to do a little bit of matten layer and then our cut-in with cut-in word dies. So let's go back in with our guillotine here. Now, if we remember, that base platform here now is 8 by 6.
Yep.
So let's go in with our Christmas red Centura Pearl. And I'm going to cut this one to 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. So again, that was 7 3/4 by 5 3/4, because that will then be my matten layer for the back layer of my card.
Yeah.
And then this was the actual pattern paper that I've taken from our paper library. So as you can see, I've gone in with the American section. So for this one, we need to come down 1/4 of an inch. So that's going to be 7 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then what that will then give us is our perfect matting layer.
Yeah.
That's then going to go onto the back. So our red, our Christmas red Centura Pearl cardstock, that one, as you can see here, was 7 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then our pattern was 7.5 by 5.5, which gives us our matting layer. So that's then going to be the back done. We just need to actually adhere that together later on. And then what we can do is if we bring in our, what is going to be the top layer. So this is the one that has your 1/4 inch at the top there. So I'm just going to then move my guillotine out the way, and then let's go in with our dies. So if I go in, I'm just using the Celebrate for this one. But of course, you could be using any of them. Do what I was doing within Wake Up Call, Ben, and you can change them if you want to. You could have, like, Celebrate My Friend if you want to.
Yeah.
Or With Love.
With love.
Celebrate My Friend. Anything like that.
Can I just say as well, for the first time
really
ever on a craft along, we've got a brand new camera. Nobody wants to see me in the box today.
No.
Brand new camera, Kiri Cam. Can we get Kiri Cam? Yay! Kiri Cam. There you go. Kiri, give us a wave.
Wave.
Give us a wave, Kiri. You've got your own little camera. There you go. Hey! How are you getting on? Give us a thumbs up. Are you doing good?
Yeah.
Yes. Marvellous.
Question.
Wow.
Question.
Card are we putting the die on? The 8.25 one or the 8 one?
So we are away to die cut into the layer that is 8 1/4 by 6. So that one that we've created the hinge, that's what we're going to be die cutting into.
Fair play to you, Hannah. I tell you what, talk about making the craft along more difficult than it needs to be. You are doing brilliant so far. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
And a lot of love for you guys too. A lot of love.
Have their own show with us.
Can you imagine?
Really
This could be a show, couldn't it?
I know.
We'll put it to the bosses.
Talk about cuteness overload between Wake Up Call and now Craft Along,
I know,
eh?
I
Good
know.
luck for you and Sarah and your cartload later.
Seriously.
But let's go in. So just to reiterate there what Hannah was asking there about the layer we're away to cut into. So we're going to take our Celebrate die. So this is where we've got our 8 1/4 by 6 inches. So I've got my fold at the top. So let's go in with our Celebrate die. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see here I've got about 1/4 inch at each side here, and I'm eyeballing it, Ben, just roughly the same, about 1/4 inch. Doesn't have to be exact, or if you want to, you can then line it up with your ruler if you want.
Okay.
But I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and I'm going to go in with my low tack tape, and then I'm just going to then press that one in, and then I'm just going to press my low tack tape into here, because of course for this one what we're doing is we're cutting into our card. So let's go in with our MIDI now, and then I'm just going to pop that in, and then you can see
Kiri's using the MIDI right now.
she's using it.
Here we go. We can just see. Give it a good twist. Kiri, go on.
Oh, look at that muscles.
Woohoo!
Brilliant. Yeah, look at that. Oh, she's
Yay.
going. You see her rolling. Yay! Get going.
Fantastic. I think you're quicker than Craig
I
at
think
using
you
that.
are. I know.
You thought you were quick.
I thought I was quick, but yeah, gosh.
You lost the
Goodness,
job
quick.
there, I think.
There we go, that's it. I'm no longer in the Guinness records for the quickest. So now that we've then cut that one, what we can do is pop these bits out, like so there, move them out the way, and then there's our first one at the bottom, all done. So then what we can do, and I think what we can do, Ben, is I'll do this next bit, and then if you want to have a little break,
okay.
if anyone, I'm quite confident a lot of people won't need time to catch up, but in case you did, then you've
We can
got
go
a
through the
little
deal
moment.
as well, can't we? Because we've not yet seen that.
Yeah. So let's take, I'm just going to take my low tack tape off once again. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to do the same. Now, what to do is let's just ignore that fold line just now. And then we're going to do exactly what we've done there. So what I'm doing is I'm tucking the fold line underneath for now so that I don't see it. And I've got roughly that 1/4 inch at each side, and then I'm going to kind of eyeball it as well. So we've got the 1/4 inch at the top. So let's tape that one in, and then let's tape that one in. And then now, once you've taped it in, before we start to run it through, let's just make sure that we take that fold line, and we untuck that fold line.
Uh-huh.
And then all that we're going to do is we're then just going to pop that back into our MIDI folder.
Yep.
Let's just line that one up, and then we can...
How would you run it through? Would you run it through like sort of like Kiri's showing us? Is this probably the way to use it, like this?
That's it.
Go, Kiri.
Keep going.
Just like that?
Just going. That's
Yeah.
exactly how you do it.
There you go.
Yay!
Yay!
Fantastic.
Boy, I'm going to have to watch my job, Ben.
Oh, you will, seriously.
Seriously, will do, won't we? So then there we go. If I then take that one out, remove that one. So what we've then got is we've then got our celebrate at the top, celebrate at the bottom. So very quickly, before we take that little break, Ben, what we've got is one of our white multi-purpose is 8 by 6.
Yep.
And then our red layer is 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. Sorry, can we just watch this? Can we just watch this? We're poking
So when you
bits
poke
out.
the bits out, you need to say poke, don't you?
You do.
Poke.
It's the only way they come out properly if you say poke every time.
Do you know what? I always struggle poking bits out. So maybe that's where I've gone
That's
wrong
what you
then.
need to say.
You have to say poke.
Now you know, you see, you have been shown the way.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have to say poke when we're
Oh,
doing the...
where you go?
What's that?
For the pole.
Exactly right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Craig, sorry, back to you.
Pattern paper. This one we've then cut to 7.5 by 5.5 inches. So then that will be the layers there. And then our other piece of white multi-purpose was 6 inches by 8 1/4 inches. And then we've scored at 1/4 of an inch at the top. And then what we've then done is we've then gone in and die cut celebrate at the bottom, leaving roughly 1/4 of an inch at the sides and the bottom.
Yeah.
And then same at the top. So we've tucked under the fold at the moment, just so that we don't take that into account when it comes to lining up. So roughly 1/4 of an inch side by side at the top. Run that one through. As you can see there, that's now our top layer done. So we can take a little bit of a break there, and then we've got bored now. So yeah, it's not that exciting now.
And let's have a short break. Brenda's just saying, OMG, she's so adorable. Nanny to the girl says, so cute, Hannah. You're a brave woman to attempt this craft along with a little one. And Sandra says, sorry, but you've lost your prime time slot. She's an absolute scene stealer, such a wee princess. And it's a good chance now to get a drink in if you need a drink. Got to keep hydrated, Kiri, haven't you?
Thirsty work.
Thirsty work.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you got? What you doing? And you're reading the book. What book is it?
It's lunch.
Lunch.
It's not.
It's lunch.
Ah, and what are you drinking,
Oh,
Kiri?
it's a book she got with her Happy Meal. That makes sense.
Ah, lunch book. I see. And what are you drinking, Kiri?
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Dinner.
Ribena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to £50.
Exactly right. That's what I was thinking also. She is. I think she is. Oh, you're saying the prices, Kiri. Let's get the prices up. I see what you're talking about. You want to see the prices. Here we go. So almost £59.94, as Kiri was telling us. £77.20 is what you should be paying. We are at £23.20 today, platinum, or $30.40 if you're shopping in the US. She's copying me. She's copying me. Right, let's have a quick look through everything that you're going to get in this set. So you get all of the dies here, again, so you can cut straight into your cardstock as you see Craig showing you just there, or you can cut these as panels. So as we showed you earlier on with the scrapbook page that Craig did on Wake Up Call, he's shown you both ways to be able to use these dies, and then all the stamps to go with them as well. So wishing you a happy birthday. Happy birthday, eat all the cake. Birthday wishes, essentially, there's loads of different ways that you could use all of these. You've then got my friend, and once again, combine the stamps with the dies, or as we've already seen and Craig's suggested, you can combine the dies as well. So you could have the dies there saying, thank you, my friend. My friend, thank you. You can combine the dies and the stamps with these. But in essence, it is 6 fantastic dies, whether you cut in, whether you cut out, whether you use the stamps, whether you just use these, whether you combine the dies for £23.20 or $30.40. Huge value for money right across these, and you pretty much got a saying for each and every occasion. Sandra says, I can't remember the list now. I love little people, so I'm a bit distracted. The list, aren't we all? The list is up there on the Facebook page, so you can go back. And of course, if you haven't yet got this collection, you can pick it up right now. And this craft along will be there for you once your goodies arrive at your door. 2:25 already. We've got 35 minutes to go. I'm keeping everything crossed. We're going to get this done in time. Don't blame me if we don't.
Oh, there'll be no blame, that's for sure. If anything, it's just given me a really good laugh. It's given us all a laugh, and that's what we all need. It's so lovely to see. So lovely to see. Right, so we've done the cut in. So let's go back to our guillotine now. And then what we're then going to do is we're going to go in with, I'm just using another piece of the white multi-purpose. This was kind of like the offcuts from what we'd done with our card blank. Now, when it comes to this one, what we're going to do is we're going to cut that to 5 3/4. So we're going 5 3/4, and then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to cut that at 1.5 inches.
Yep.
So let's go up to that 1.5. So once again, that was with our white multi-purpose. That was 5 3/4 by 1.5 inches that you can see here. So that's that one. And then what I'm going to do now is if I bring in another offcut here of our Christmas red.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I love my 1/4 inch increment mats and layers, but I don't want it to be that thick. So what I do, Ben, is I still cut it a 1/4 inch bigger, but then I trim afterwards. So for our red, what we're then going to do is we're going to then cut this to 6 inches by 1 3/4. So then what that will give me is, that will give me my 1/4 inch mat and layer, but it's just a little bit too big for what I'm wanting. So this is when I then come in, and then all that I'm doing is I'm coming down just a couple of millimeters and trimming off one side, and then we're doing the same on the other side. So I'm just trimming off a couple of millimeters round the edge, so both sides, or left and then the top, and then that just gives me a slightly smaller mat and layer. So with that one, it was 5 3/4 by 1.5 inches, and then for my red layer, what I'd done with this one is I cut it to 6 inches, then 1 3/4, and then what I'd done is I just trimmed a couple of millimeters off the side and the top, and that just gives me that shallower mat and layer that you can see here.
Yes.
So we can move that one out the way, and then we need this one, and then we're going to go back in with our Celebrate die. And then what we can do with this one is then line that up within the middle of your panel that you've just cut. And then what we can then do is, once you've got that where you want it, we're going to go in and we're going to then tape this down. And I'm just popping my tape kind of in the actual aperture parts of the sentiment.
Oh, yeah.
Just so that my low-tack tape, even with the MIDI, so powerful, sometimes your low-tack tape can still catch the fibres.
Absolutely.
So by going into there, it means that's going to be the waste part, so it doesn't really matter. Now, of course, at this bit, you can go in with your MIDI and then the folder, or what you can then do as well is that would still work at this point, although you need your bigger folder for the card base, this one, if you wanted to, and this is what I do quite a lot, is I'll use my MIDI bin.
I always forget about this.
But I will then still just use my small folder.
Yes.
And run that one through. So then, as that comes out the other side there, what we've then got is our cut out. So we've cut in, and then we've cut out. So if we remove that one, pop that one out, we've then got our Celebrate that you can see. So what that will do just shortly is that's going to go into the middle. But what we want is a couple of panels here. So let's set that one to the side. And then what we can do is let's go in with some more of that pattern paper. So the same pattern paper that I used for our background, what we can then do with this one is I'm going to come in here. Now we're going to cut the pattern paper to 5.5 inches. So essentially we want 2 panels that are 5.5 inches by 1.25. So let's line that one up here. So there's 1, and then here's 2. So I'll go over them again just in a second. So we've got 2 strips, and then we've got our 2 strips here. We've got them both here. Now what we've got here is we've got these ones, so your actual pattern paper, so that is 5.5 inches by 1.25 inches. And I've done that twice. So what we can do is move that one to the side. And then once again, using that off-cut piece of the actual red cardstock, the Christmas red, what we're going to do with this one is, for this one, we are going to do this 1/4 inch bigger. So that one's then going to go 5 3/4, and then that's then going to go 1.5. So line that up to the 1.5 there. And then we can do the same with this one here. So line that one up into here. So that's 2 pieces now of a red background, which is 5 3/4 by 1.5.
Yeah.
And then that's our mats and layers for these ones.
Perfect.
So for these ones, I'm not going to shallow them like I done with this one. I'm going to keep them at 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
So if you want, Ben, I will just go over them ones there before we take a little break.
Okay.
Pattern paper, 5.5 by 1.25, so you want 2 of them. And then your red layer that you've got here, 5 3/4 by 1.5 inches by 2 of them as well. And then we'll just pause there for a moment because I can't help but keep looking at our monitor at the side because it's so uber cute, let me tell you.
We've also got Rachel on the socials then, and little Ted is watching too. So hi, Ted. Got a picture of Ted's watching as well. We're just going to pop over, I think, back to Sussex. I think, Hannah, have you got a question for Craig, did you say?
I need help.
Yes.
Right, so I accidentally cut my original... You did that one. I accidentally cut my original coloured card layer to do the smaller one, and so I need to recut that. But because I'm cutting twice as much of everything, I'm lost as to what sizes of coloured card I should have.
Rightio. So the colour card, is this for? Did you say this is for the background of the sentiment?
Yeah. So your red one.
Yeah. So the red one, what I actually done, Hannah, is with my red one on the background of the Celebrate. So the background for this one that you've got here. So my background, I had cut mine to, where's my notes here? So I had cut it to 6 inches by 1 3/4. And then what I'd done is I just trimmed a couple of millimeters off the top and the side. So then that gives me a shallower matting layer. So it's not a full 1/4 inch all the way around, it's just a shallower one. So once again...
But the original large matted layer, what size was that, the red one?
Yeah, so the original large one. So the one that I've got here for my background, what I've got within this one here is the red one that we've got. I've gone in and I've actually cut that to 5 3/4 by 7.5. So that's 5 3/4 by 7.5. And then the patterned paper, I've then cut at 5.5 by 7.5. And then that's then going to mat and layer onto there, which will then mat and layer onto the back layer.
All good, excellent stuff. Just whilst we're catching up there, thank you as well. There's a few of you wishing me happy birthday. My birthday is not actually today, it's on Sunday, but thank you anyway, I'll take those. We are celebrating Sarah's birthday from last Sunday, my birthday next Sunday with our double birthday cartload special tonight from 5, it's an hour earlier, midday Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, so do join us for that. And Still Sparkly says, OMG, OMG, Kiri is adorable. Can we have her on all the craft alongs?
Please.
We'd never get anything done, would we? I think that's the thing. But she's been fantastic so far. Just before we do move on, just to remind you, well, I say remind you, you might not know, the tape pens, the ones of the Dossie variety, they are back in stock. These have been much sought after for so long. Now they are finally here. They are back in stock. You can buy these individually. Oh, sorry.
Delusion.
It's really hard talking and spinning at the same
isn't it?
time. And the table's wobbling now as well. No, hang on, I'm doing it now. There we go. Look at that. These are now available individually, or indeed you can get the pack of 12, the wholesale pack, for a smash down price. 35% off. Then you still get your club inspired discount on top. So if you're platinum, £30.40 or $43.20 if you're shopping in the US. These have been flying out of the door today. It's been such a long wait to get these back, and they are finally here. Do not miss these today. Get them. Get more than you think that you will need, because you'll kick yourself once these go out of stock again, and they will. So grab them now whilst you can. 35% saving, less another 20% if you're platinum. Right, let's get back on over to Craig. We've got 25 minutes left. What are we doing next, Craig?
Rightio. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut our cardstock for this stamped sentiment. Now, all that we need is a little piece that's 2.5 inches by 1/2 inch. However, that can be a little bit difficult to do on a smaller piece of card. You can absolutely do it, of course, but let's make it easier for ourselves. So I've taken that larger off-cut piece of cardstock from the start of the show, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this down so I'm clean on a 1/4 inch increment. So what I mean by that is I'm sitting on 8 inches here. Now, if I want a 1/2 inch strip, now that would be very, very hard to actually try and line up and get a 1/2 inch strip right at the blade of the guillotine. Yep. So therefore, the easiest and safest way is if you come up to any 1/4 inch, it could be any inch that you've got here, just so happens that I'm on the 8 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that down 1/2 inch. So I've brought that down to 7.5 inches. And then if I cut, I've now got my strip that's 1/2 inch in thickness. So that's a really easier and safer way to do that. So with that one, what we also do is we need to then cut that to 2.5 inches. So we've got our strip that's 2.5 inches by 1/2 inch.
Yep.
And then what we can then do is that's going to be ready for us to stamp onto. So I can set that one at the side for now, and then what we can do is a couple of these little offcuts. Let's go in with our nesting stars. Remember, this came from Crafter's Inspiration previous magazine.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the smallest one.
Okay.
You can use a combination of a few if you want to, but I'm just going to use the small one. And then let's go back with our MIDI. And then what we're going to do is we're going to die cut this one. We're going to do this 3 times.
Okay.
Now, it just so happens this is the size of the cardstock that I've got. If I was to line that up perfectly, Ben, I can then use this layer afterwards as the front of a card if I want to.
Of course.
Because it's going to have 3-star apertures.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to worry and concentrate on that within this show. What I am just doing is...
Kiri's just having a quick drink and using the MIDI one-handed. I mean, that's pretty. Can you do that, Craig? Can you drink and use it one-handed?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can. Let's have a look and see. No, not quite. I think Kiri does it better than you.
Yeah, no, it's not easy to do that. Not easy doing that. So yeah, just rubbing it in. So we could.
Dear. Oh, we got a question. A question from Hannah, I think. What's your question, Hannah?
What star are we using?
That one.
Is it the smallest one?
So I'm using the smallest one, Hannah, from the start. So you've got 3 in total. I'm using the smallest one.
Yeah, perfect.
I am indeed.
Dear.
And then we're just going to run that one through once again.
I would love to say I'm concentrating on what you're doing. It's a good job I did not craft along, because I literally wouldn't know where I was at this point, because I'm just having so much fun.
I am just glad that I've written myself the instructions down.
Yeah.
Because, in all honesty, Ben, I'm not really paying attention either to what's going on. I'm focusing on the steps that I've written down, instead of doing it by kind of memory as to when I prep this. Although we always have the steps written by the side of us, very rarely do I follow them, because they're usually in my mind.
Yeah.
And although they are, I'm just not concentrating on that.
It will be a miracle if we have a finished card at the end of this show. If anyone's finished one, won't it? It'll be a miracle.
Oh, we will.
Oh, we will.
We will.
Good.
I've got confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Anne says, Kiri's coming for your jobs, guys. I think
Yes.
probably is. Probably already got them. And Sil says, I love the magic hand in the turntable shot. Don't know what you were talking about. One day maybe we'll get an electronic one.
Maybe.
One day. I mean, oh yeah, it is electronic. It wasn't the hand that you saw in the shot, was it? It was.
No.
Don't know what that was that you saw.
Definitely was not done by a human. So then we've got our 3 stars.
Yeah.
So the last thing we need to do before we assemble this is let's go back into that 2.5 inch by 1/2 inch strip that we've then cut. Mm-hmm. And then let's go in with our sentiment, go in with our stamping platform.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go in with It's Time To. Now remember, you can mix and match. You can use some of the sentiments from the other word cut-ins if you want to. Quite a few of them work really, really well. So I'm going to go in with our Noir Black. So let's stamp this one up, in with that Noir Black, and then we're going to go in. Now for this one, what I'm going to do is hover, and then I'm going to get that where I want, and then we can then press. We can lift up, and we've got Time To Celebrate.
Lovely.
And then what I am going to do is we're going to go around with a little bit of Chinese red. I'm just going to give that a moment for the ink to set.
Yeah.
What we could do you want to take another bit of a break? Because all we're going to do next is assembly of the actual card. So if you want to do a little bit of a break.
Yeah, we can do. We can just quickly pop in over, see how Hannah and Kiri are getting on. Hannah, how are you doing? Are you enjoying the experience?
It's been a lot. He's
It's
going rogue. He keeps trying to put the celebrate die back in. He's not letting me cut out stars. But other than that, it's going brilliantly.
Yeah, and the other thing is you've had half the time that most people would have on a craft along as well.
Yeah,
so.
I'm also making 2 cards.
Well, this is the thing. You like to set yourself up with a challenge by the sounds of it.
I haven't been making cards for long. I don't know what possessed me. This is your fault. You said bring Kiri along.
But mine was just a mere suggestion, Hannah. You didn't have to do. I mean, most people, when I suggest something, ignore me entirely. So you can't blame this.
I didn't know that was an option.
How long have you been making cards for?
Since the end of February.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Is that when you found us?
Yeah, I used to watch QVC a lot and saw Sarah on there, and then bought some of the magazines, and then ended up coming over to Crafters TV.
Oh, that's amazing.
Brilliant.
And since you started crafting, then Kiri's wanted to help, I guess, is she?
If you can call it that.
I mean, she's having the best time.
She is.
I know, she's having a great time.
We're having a great time watching.
Don't lick the mini.
Okay. It's not edible, Kiri. You can't eat the mini. Is your card coming along well, Kiri? Are you doing well?
Yeah.
Good. Just to let you know, we're going to, at the end of the show, because Craig obviously made a card earlier, and then we'll have this card here. We're going to let you pick your favourite card, and you will pick the card of the day, okay?
You're going to get to pick the card of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to say happy birthday to Ben.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Right.
Right,
Back to you.
Rightio. Let's go back to that sentiment there. It's time to, and then let's go in with the Chinese red. So I've gone in with my blending tool, and all that I'm doing is I'm just inking the edges. ever so slightly. Now you could, of course, if you wanted to, do an additional matten layer with the Christmas red, but I just thought it was nice just to incorporate a little bit of that Chinese red.
Yeah.
And then that is all that we're going to do with that one there. It's all ready now to assemble. So what I'm going to do is let's just take that ink off, just so we don't get it onto our cardstock. And then we're going to go in with our back layers. So I'm going to set them to the side for now. And then what we're also going to do is we're then going to go in with our die cut layer. So along the actual top fold, I'm just going to turn that in. So that is the actual front. So if we turn it over on itself, and then what I'm going to do is, if you want to go in with red liner tape, you can do. I didn't actually add it onto the list, although I know most do have it. But what I'm then just going to do is on that actual fold, I'm going to go in with my tacky glue. So tacky glue or red liner tape, or you can use your double-sided tape runners if you want. And then all that I'm just going to do is marry them up together and then fold that over the top. Now this is where I was saying at the beginning there, Ben, in the UK it's very, very easy for us to get 8x8 card blanks.
Yes.
Very, very easy. So what I've done on my original one is I've just taken an 8x8 card blank and then just chopped it down to, it was 6 by 8 inches. But if you don't have card blanks or you find it hard to get a hold of them, you can easily make your own at home, any size, just by creating a little folded tab at the top. And then there is our card blank. So let's open that one up here, and then let's go in with our 2 layers. So I'm going to go in with my tape runner, and this is just our normal straight tape runner. And then let's go around the edge. Now, because this is from our paper library, and therefore it's about 180 GSM, what I wouldn't do is gut this layer.
Okay.
It's too thin. If you were to gut this layer, then you will potentially start to see that kind of sagging within the middle. Whereas if my top layer here, if that was a really strong cardstock, I would be inclined to gut the centre of my Christmas red.
Okay.
But then we can then pop that one on. And then I'm then going to go around the back of this one here. And then we can then add our tape. So this is still just our straight tape runner. And then we're then going to come in now. So if we open this one up, and then that can then go into here. And then what it also does, Ben, is when we close it,
boom,
we see the stars in the blue behind the die cut celebrate. So that is our layer there. So let's set that one to the side. So while we've got our straight tape runner, let's bring both of these ones in. So I'm going to go in with my straight tape runner.
I know this is sort of celebrating the coronation, but it's got a very 4th of July feel. I know you've touched on that, but a real 4th of July feel, this, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And straight away, my thinking off the bat, Ben, was the King's coronation.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, 4th of July. But then I thought Father's Day coming up in June. And then I thought, we're always being asked for male-themed cards. Yeah. And I thought, just in general, it's going to be a really good card for a guy. Because, of course, you know, in the UK and the US, Mother's Day is different. Yeah. Whereas Father's Day, it's the same day.
Weird that, isn't it?
Strange. Very strange.
Because yours is US. Is it the 7th? I got this wrong the other day. 7th or the 10th, I've got on my mind. But ours was back in, Mother's Day was back in March,
wasn't it? Yeah.
But Father's Day, June the 10th, I think?
I think it's a bit early this year, yeah, because usually it's some years it's round about the 19th, 20th, 21st, because sometimes it lands on mine and
18th.
Oh, so it's not earlier this year, because usually, or some years, Ben, it lands on mine and Debbie Fisher's birthday. Yeah. And our birthday, 21st, is on a Sunday. Yes. It lands on it, but yeah, it's usually round about that date period. So yeah, this could be a great Father's Day. Or simply do what I've done, and as I say time and time again, change the colours. It's going to look completely different. Instead of using red, go in maybe with a craft card, and then maybe some of the woodwork pattern paper. Fab. Completely different, but same style. So now that we've got our Celebrate, let's go in with our dotty tape runner. And I'm just going to come in with a piece of cardstock underneath. And with our dots, what we're just going to do is we're going to go side to side, just ensuring all of the die cut pieces are covered. We can then lift that up. That means now that we've got adhesive only on the back and nowhere else. And then this one can then mat and layer onto here. Now, because we do have a thin border, if you're not overly confident about matting and layering with a thin border, this is when you would potentially come along and use your wet glue, your tacky glue. It's a nice way, because then it gives you a little bit of wiggle time. But then we've got our Celebrate, combining the blue with the red. And then let's go in. So with this panel here, your die cut sentiment, let's go in with foam pads. Optional as always, but I think with this card, because this is going to be in that central part of the card base, it works well and looks quite nice being on foam pads. So then what we can then do is, let's take these two strips here and let's get our tape. So I'm just back to my straight tape runner now, and then we're going to add our tape onto one, and then we're going to add our tape onto another. And then what we can then do is, before I take the backing off my foam pads, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roughly position that where I think is in the middle.
Okay.
Use the glass mat if you want to. What I'm also going to do is, although that looks white on white, but to give me that idea of space, what I'm going to do is, this enables me then to have that wiggle room, nothing stuck down, and I'm just using my elements as a way to guide myself in. So I can go in with that base one, and then now I'm happy with that one. So we can then pop that one in to here. So that gives me now my perfect central part for my die cut sentiment. So we can then take our backing off here. And if you want to do your glue gel, you can do.
Yeah.
The thing is, with your glue gel, it gives you different options of height level. You just need to let that dry.
You know what, great shout from Betty as well. He said red and green could be Christmas with added embellishments.
Of course it could.
Celebrate Christmas, why not?
Of course. We're going to be starting that soon.
Oh, yeah. Can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
I've already done a Christmas show this year.
You have, haven't you?
I did a Christmas craft vault probably about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlotte. What
Crazy,
was that
isn't
noise? Oh dear.
Welcome
Not too
to the
soon in the
craft
crafting
industry.
world for Christmas, is it, Craig?
Nope.
June for UK.
Yep.
And July.
And stateside.
Stateside, and so we'll be having some big shows July time, won't we, as per normal?
Well.
Years flying over. It's May on Monday. Can you believe that?
It's just bonkers.
The years come
Absolutely
flown
bonkers.
over. And then Wednesday again tomorrow,
Yeah.
with Sheena's third appearance. I mean, it seems like 5 minutes since she was on first, doesn't it? Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
It's funny because for me, I was kind of in the minority where I just thought January dragged. Absolutely dragged.
Yeah.
But also for me, January, February, March and April seem to have gone quicker than the whole of April did. The whole of January did for me.
This month has, April particularly for me, has flown over.
It has, hasn't
And I think in my little mind, I think it should go slower because obviously it's my birthday right at the end of the month. So you think, oh, if you're looking forward to your birthday, the month would drag. But it's absolutely flown over.
It really is.
Bank holiday next Monday, of course, as well.
Payday for many of us.
Payday. Oh yeah, we payday
This week.
Tomorrow.
You'll be lucky, Charlotte.
Thursday, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've then gone in with the actual back of our foam pad. So I put the foam pads on It's Time To.
Yeah.
So what I can do with this one is then I'm just going to then pop that into here and then press that in. So I'm happy with that, pressing that one in. And then what we can do is then let's come in with our stars here. And then once again, before I actually turn them on their side to stick them down, let's just pop them on to give us a little bit of a visual guide. Now, if you want to use your glass mat or ruler or that just to line up, you can do, but let's just pop them ones, there, give or take. Happy with that. So let's come in with this one, and then we can pop one on here. We can then pop our next one in to here.
Kiri's doing some gluing.
So cute.
Teamwork together there, Hannah and Kiri.
So cute. I actually don't want this craft along to end, you know that?
I know. There's Kiri Cam. Look at her. She's very, very concentrated on her gluing there, as you can see. A few people were asking to see Kiri Cam.
Yeah, oh, deep in concentration.
Yeah, that's it. Don't disturb her. Don't want glue everywhere.
And then there you go, Ben.
That is brilliant, mate.
There
That is
we go.
fantastic.
That's it. So your 8 by 6.5, where we've cut in and we've cut out. Now, what I am just going to do, because of course on a glass mat it just slides about, let's go on, and then you can see cut an inner card, we've cut out the card, we've lifted to celebrate, it's time to, in the stars on some foam pads, and then we've got our matten layer in the middle that you've got there.
That's such a brilliant, quick, but fantastic project. We'll give Hannah and Kiri just a little bit longer because we've still got a few minutes left on the show. I'll read a few comments and we'll just have a look at the deal again if you do want to pick it up. Denise says, hi Craig and Ben and crew. I just wanted to tell you that every time I watch, I learn something new and I really appreciate your bantering. Well, you're welcome, Denise. It's great
Very
that you
welcome.
great that you learn so much. And Alison Jarrett says, thank you, Craig. I've been struggling with ideas for a 90th male birthday card, and I think you have just solved my problem. Perfect, right?
Perfectly, yeah, that would be absolutely perfect, yeah. Whether you want to change the colour
Yeah.
slightly, then you can do, yeah. If you're anything like that, craft is always a good way to go down. Craft in a bit of gold cardstock, whether
Yeah.
it's a satin gold, something along the lines. Craft in black, please don't be scared to use black. Black looks absolutely epic. I use it all the time. Give it a try and see, but that style, that would be perfect.
Love it. Keep the comments coming through. We, as I said, we'll go over to Hannah and Kiri very shortly, and we're going to do the vote for the demo of the day, but we're going to let Kiri choose the winner today. She's been such a good part of the Craft Log, a real superstar with Hannah. The price for the collection is on screen right now. So this is a £60, $77 bundle that you're picking up today with a £30.94, $39.70 saving. And then if you are in Club Inspire, of course, don't forget, you'll get another 20% off if you're platinum. Worth bearing in mind too that because of all of the birthday shenanigans today, you will pick up that extra gift as well. You spend over a tenner, you get an extra gift added to your basket. If you spend over 100 today, there's a party bag added to your basket. And of course, all those codes we've got going for you today, which we'll remind you of in just a second. But this is the full set. So you've got your word cut in dies. So birthday, then all of those stamps. So happy birthday, eat all the cake. Happy birthday wishes are sent to you. Birthday, happy birthday, wishing you a happy day. There's loads of them there. You've got my friend in there too. You're the best, my friend. You are so special to me, my friend. Thank you. Just to say thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you so very much. As we've already discussed, cut straight in, cut out, use these, don't use these with those, use the dies together. You could have just to say, thank you. You could use the two dies on a bigger project, as we've seen Craig doing just now. Multi-use these. Celebrate, that's the one you've seen during this project, of course. It's time to celebrate your success. Celebrate your wonderful news. And then you've got with love as well. So with love from me to you, with love from all of us, with love and great big hugs. I think it's a really, really fun collection. Quick and easy to use as well. And as you've seen, whether you're cutting straight in, cutting out, the two projects that Craig has done today, fantastic. A brilliant celebratory card, and then also a scrapbook page, which I think looks the absolute business. Christy Mahoney says, just such a cute craft along with that little cutie. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're not talking about,
Oh,
it's not.
no, it's not us.
It's not us. No.
Oh.
I think it would be great to do more of these with children. We'll ask Hannah's take on that in just a few moments' time. Mary Beth says, great project. So many occasions to use this. Thank you, Craig. And Suzette Sue says, I love it, Craig. The card was quick and simple, but looks the business, right? Thank you. And just very quickly, before we go back and see the dynamic duo in Sussex, don't forget the extra strong dotted tape pens. They are back in stock. You can pick these up individually, or Kiri liked my fanfare. Or you can go for the full box, the 12 pack. It's the big one that goes to the shops. You're going to get 12 of our Dotty Take pens in here. The price is incredible. Literally just got these back in stock. Now, when they go out of stock, we're giving you a 35% saving, then another 20% off if you're platinum, £30.40 or $43.20 for all 12 of those. I would be multi-ordering these because, again, don't forget, the more that you buy today, the more free gifts that you can get, the more party bags you can get, and the more you can save as well with that save more, spend more, save more event. Again, the more you spend, the more you can save with those codes. Which are really, really handy to use. Here they are. So you can get an extra £10, $10 off with the code SBBDAY10. So BB Day, you know, that one. If you're spending over 50, if you're spending over 100, you can get an extra 20 off there. Code is SBBDAY20, and then get an extra 30 off if you're spending over 150 with the code SBBDAY30. All the details there for you. Shall we? I think this is going to be incredible. Let us go back over to Sussex. Hannah, have you completed, with the help of Kiri, of course, 2 cards in this last hour?
Not entirely. I've got a card.
Right.
She's got the start of a card.
Oh, yay, wow. Kiri.
She started gluing Celebrate, but then just decided to put tacky glue all over our kitchen table.
Wow, why not? You know, make a bit of a mess, it's fine. Where's your card, Hannah?
It is here. I was just sticking the stars on because I forgot the stars.
Oh, I love the colours.
Where's mine?
That's Mum's. Yeah, that.
Oh, yes, you did that.
I did that.
Yeah. And
You didn't finish yours. Yours is still here. There's still time.
You're going to show us yours, Kiri, and then you're going to finish it in a bit.
Kiri, you can show them your card.
My card.
Let's have a look.
My name's not here either.
That's brilliant, isn't it, Craig?
Awesome. Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Love what you've done.
Right, Kiri, we need you to pick a winning card for us now, if you can.
Okay.
Can we put Kiri in the box, maybe, you think? Okay, so, Craig,
I'd like to put her in the
do you
box.
want to number your projects and let Kiri choose her favourite?
Okay, doc. Rightio, Kiri. So, this one is number 1. That's number 1. It's my friend.
Yep.
Got a little baby on it. And that one's number 2 that we've just done there. So, Kiri, what one do you like the best?
1 or 2?
Or 2?
Yeah.
The one with Lula.
Lula!
Ah, the winner! Yay!
She will be over the moon with that.
Excellent stuff. So that is our winner for demo of the day, because of course we've got our big cartload show coming up later. Hannah, can I just say thank you so much, and also Kiri, have you enjoyed the experience and will you come back?
Do you want to do crafting again?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes! Did you enjoy being on telly, Kiri?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Did you enjoy it, Hannah?
I did. It was a manic hour. I'm kind of glad it wasn't a 2-hour craft along.
Could have been worse. It could have been Michelle's craft along.
Can I just say as well, Hannah, the fact that you've only been making cards since February, I think credit to you. You obviously enjoy what you do. You must have been crafty before February, surely. With
Yeah, I used to do like, oh no, please don't hang up. I used to do like very basic crickety vinyl cutting stuff.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're a brilliant card maker, and yeah, a fantastic mum to Kiri as well. Because if that was me, I'd have hung up about 20 minutes ago, I think.
Ben, can I ask a favour?
You can.
Do you have any joke books left? Because the order I placed, which had the joke book in the basket, got lost.
Well, do you know what? Because I owe Sarah, who did our craft-along a few weeks back, I said I'd find her one. I'll have a scout round.
We all do the photo.
Yeah, there's glue everywhere.
Something on your favourite.
Yeah, exactly. I will search out one for you, Hannah, and I'll get in touch with you on Instagram. There might be some more in the office. If not, I'm sure there's some down at the warehouse, and we'll sort something out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
See you soon, Hannah and Kiri.
Bye.
Bye. How amazing was that?
That's got to be my favourite craft along.
Me too.
I have absolutely loved it. I am absolutely gutted, for my sake, that it was only an hour. I would have loved 2 hours. But yeah, that was brilliant. How fab was that? And Hannah obviously just crafted more of the cardstock, paper craft within February there. That was exceptional.
Yeah, and how great, I know Kiri's having a lot of fun, but how nice that the kids have been involved as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I can see her being part of another craft along, many more. My craft alongs, please.
Yeah, I think if Hannah comes back, I think from the comments I can see coming through, that Kiri's going to have to come back as well, otherwise there'll be complaints.
There will be, yeah. Yep. The kiddies are going to be lining up to be taking part of the craft alongs.
That's it. Something for the future.
There you go.
Kiddie craft alongs.
Kiddie craft along. Oh, we're doing a dance.
Yeah. Listen, thank you so much to Hannah. Thank you so much to Kiri. Thank you to Craig.
Thank you.
When are you back?
So I'll be back. So I am back on Hobby Maker in the UK on Thursday, and I'm not back here till Monday, I think it is. Monday, I'm yeah.
Yeah. I'll see you next week then.
I'll probably be popping in anyway over the week, but yeah. I'm with the wrestling tomorrow.
It doesn't matter if you're at the wrestling. I'm with you in 2 hours' time. 2 hours, don't forget, for that birthday cartload show. It's me, it's Sarah, it's 3 hours. You can check out most of the deals right now on the website. Shop the day. We've got some time-limited deals coming in tonight, so you'll need to come back and tune in for that. But make sure you pick up the deals. Don't forget the Dot Your Tape pens are back in stock as well. What a show. It's been so much fun. Sarah and I will see you in a couple of hours, but until then, we'll go for a lie down. Bye for now.
Toodles.